Hey, this is the price of Ethereum on the GDEX platform that's linked to Coinbase. This is where I trade to uh, execute without commissions, and I have another video where I talk about how to avoid paying trade commissions when you trade cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And today I'm just gonna go through some trades that I personally did and explain why I did them. So recently I sold at 288. It's right at basically just right where it is now. Before that, I bought at 260. I bought 260.5. That's basically, um, around this region. So I basically bought here, sold here, bought here, and I sold here. Meanwhile, I was holding a longer term position. And so if we look at the Ethereum chart, position this right here. So basically, I tried to sell at 400. I put in a limit at 400, but it did not go through. But I also did have some sells at 376, so I was able to exit some in this region here. I had buys in the 300s. I had a separate video before where I talked about how I bought at 305 and 290. I ended up selling some at 325-ish in this region. And then I rebought here, sold at I think 317. And then I sold at 300. So at 300 I was like, well, Jamie Dimon is making this remark about how Bitcoin is going to end and it's kind of like a fraud and stuff like that. And so, and also technically it looked like it was going to break this kind of 290 support region, and I was looking for 265. So why 265? If I zoom out, let me zoom out to daily. Let's go look at daily. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so I expected the correction to go towards this 260 region. And in fact, I actually put in a buy order. I put in a buy order at 265. So I hit a buy order, but it turns out that it actually kept going. So I put a buy order at 265, went further down. I ended up trading some here, and even though it looks scary going all the way to 200, I held on. And it turns out holding on was correct. Selling in panic is not the right thing to do. So holding through the panic is something that worked, especially when there's a 5-wave move down. And so I was able to sell some in this 270 range. I bought back at 245. I sold some at I think 288 or 290. Bought back at 260, and then sold. I just sold like 2 hours ago at 288. And so basically the most recent exit was 288 right here. Here's my 260 buy, and that's around this area. The before that I had a 290 sell, and that's in this region. The 243 buy was around here. And so yeah, all this is like, how much is this? I mean, like I'm buying 10 Ethereum contracts at 260. That's like 2,600, and then selling it for like 2,880. So that's like $280. So it's not that much because it's only 10 contracts. But the idea is like you have like a long-term holding that's kind of like your core, and then you trade around it. So ideally these smaller type trades, if Ethereum ends up just kind of like chugging along, going up, going down, going up, going down, then this strategy will play out better. If, on the other hand, if Ethereum just goes straight up, well then I'll probably miss out on a lot of this, and instead my core holding will go up with Ethereum. So that's basically what I have going on. I have two separate accounts, one that I actively trade and the other one that I just kind of let sit there, just in case I miss out. So The This is the one that I actively trade on GDAX because they they don't charge you commissions when you do a limit sell and limit buy order. So that's what I did for Ethereum. For Bitcoin, let's see, for Bitcoin, yeah, my most recent buys were in the 36, uh, in this kind of 3600 region. So it hasn't bounced off that much. Um, Before that, I did buy at 3650, which is around this area. I sold at 4000, and then when it went back down, I bought again. So that's kind of the idea. You want to buy, and why 4000? Because well, you had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it bounced already a lot, and said, and this portion, this is kind of like resistance. So I knew this 4100 would be resistance. So it would be smart to sell somewhere, just north of 4000. And that's I sold at 4029. So that's resistance. And if this resistance holds, then where's the next support? Well, the next support is probably the bottom of this green candle, which is around 3750, or below that, it would be in this 3500 range. So it turns out that 3600 region, where I bought at 3617, 3645, that region is a buy. So I don't know exactly where, and that's why I have kind of multiple entries. So if you can kind of space it out and buy some and see how it reacts, one reason why I felt comfortable that it wouldn't go below this is because I saw an AB 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a couple green candles. So that usually is an indication that this pattern is complete and we're going to move in the opposite direction. Now, I don't know if it will right now, but it had a chance to move back up. So we'll see what happens. It could break back down. If it does, then maybe I'll buy more. But right now I'm looking for, if this holds, to kind of consolidate near this 4000 region, especially because the bearish news from the China Bitcoin kind of crackdown and Jamie Dimon's remarks came around this time period, around 41, 4200. I don't expect Bitcoin to go above where it was trading at that time. So I expect some kind of consolidation between 3600 and 4100, at least for the next week or so. As for Ethereum, my outlook for Ethereum is it's a little bit stronger. This is the region where the news came out, but I do expect some consolidation around 300. So I don't expect too much movement in the near term. Maybe it'll get to 300. What is that? 340. But if it does, it'll bounce between there and 300. So I would imagine if you do want to put a sell order, a sell order around 336 would probably make sense, and then there might be a buying opportunity if it pulls back. So so again, that's 336 and a buying opportunity if it pulls back to 300. So we'll see what happens. But again, I think for you traders out there, you should have a two-pronged strategy. One is long-term, and one is actively trading. So if you can't actively find some of these support and resistance regions, then simply holding is also a good way to get exposure. So those are my Ethereum and Bitcoin trades, and I wish you guys the best of luck on doing your own trades.